What's the bigger threat to America, fentanyl or black people?
Black people, not even close.
Why do you say that?
Honestly speaking, the culture is pernicious. The crime rates are ridiculous. Everything about it is just, there's issues. We gotta have a difficult conversation here. And that difficult conversation is, we need to get rid of the bigotry, the world organized bigotry, which is always blaming other people for their problems, blaming white people for everything, blaming society for everything, systemic racism, all these lies. It's all a lie. It's like, dude, stop being a loser. Stop crying about your circumstances. Trust me, you can make it, because if people that are like immigrants to come here and figure it out, you can.
I'm gonna keep saying this until I'm blue in the face. Okay? I'm gonna keep saying this till I'm blue in the fucking face and shit. I'm gonna tell you guys like I always told them since I was a kid and shit. Okay? Now I'm talking to you motherfucking tellers, you Africans or whoever the fuck else is over here that's overly concerned what goes on in our community while living and exploiting in it. Living in it, exploiting it, using flat blackness to pretend to be us while you do criminal acts and shit, okay? Looking at you, Minnesota. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you like I always tell you and shit. You have these views, then why are you here? Okay? Why are you here? Okay? Why the fuck are you here? Well, now we get tired of hearing this shit and we feel like splitting your wig, delineation between what you are and what we are is needed. Okay, it's par for the course and shit. It's standard operating procedure and shit at this point because you guys are egregiously way out of pocket and shit. Okay? Way out of pocket. Now, I'm upset, okay? And I made videos about this guy before, running his goddamn mouth, and a lot of other people made these videos that sound like some shit where the person is wearing a tinfoil kufi. I'm not even gonna go there, shit. I think he's a piece of shit. Okay? That your whole argument goes out the window because of the real estate you're standing on, which is the United States of America, 3Ks and set. We have our issues over here, and none of that has anything to do with you. So you should keep your motherfucking mouth shut, because nobody told you to come over here and be a political analyst and shit, or some kind of gauge for our community, which you don't belong to. You have no connection to and shit. And we tell you this all the time, but you still run your fucking mouth. Okay? There'll never be any shortage of mouth breathers that'll go on your fucking podcast and embarrass themselves by sitting in front of you and entertaining your nonsense because you're a whole fucking clown and shit, and people are tired of listening to you. Okay? But you know, you just got dumb people that they do these subroutines where, oh, I gotta watch this shit. Okay, I'm gonna stay on social media. I'm gonna just let my life ebb on by and shit while you guys fuck up the planet and shit. Okay, and your sponsors too, in a minority majority. Okay, they need people like you to come over here and pretend to be us and shit. Otherwise, they wouldn't have no foothold and shit, okay? And that shit is getting old, and then you're gonna get deported and shit, okay? By motherfucking ICE. Alright? Making America great again. You wanna make America great again, shit, go home. Okay? Go to your motherfucking home and fix that shit, okay? Fix that shit. Alright? You can't make an omelet without breaking eggs, right? Ain't that what you guys like to say? Shit like that? Alright? Don't you like to say shit like that? You know, what happened in France and shit? You know, what happened when Marie Antoinette said, let them eat cake and shit? You end up getting a fucking head cut off. Right? None of this kind of shit can happen in Africa because you can't get your shit together. Okay? You guys are all tribal and shit. Your little cliques and groups and shit. You're perfect cannon fodder to come over here and be the blunt, goofy ass, clown ass tip of the spear and shit for a failing mindset and shit, okay? Right? You know these assholes like to take both sides of the argument. They like to implant their agents in our supposed community and shit to pretend to cosplay as us and run their mouth in front of these cameras and shit and do all this stupid shit that don't amount to nothing. Because, you know, to them, you know, your preferred, the place where you want to be and shit, we all look alike, okay? And that is an insult, okay? That's an insult. Worthy against getting curb stomped, okay? But to us, We can see you clear as day. We can see you. You don't look. You look as different to us as anybody from any part of the world and shit. That's not even our same melanated status or anything and shit. Okay, we can see you. I know when I'm looking at an African and shit. I know when I'm looking at somebody like a Somalian or somebody else and shit from over there and shit, or somebody from the Arab immigrants and shit that come over here and pretend to be us and shit. Hey, nobody's pretending to be you where you come from. Okay, they're pretending to be us. Right? They're adopting our mannerisms, the negative stereotypes that are put out about us because we don't control our own fucking image, buddy. Okay, it doesn't matter what you think. Okay, I just tell you like I tell any other covert white supremacist that want to have a political discussion with me. I cut to the chase when they start running their mouths about these fake ass stats about who we are and how we move and shit in this country and shit and what our culture is and shit. I just cut to the chase. Well, what is your solution? Okay, that's what I'm gonna tell all you motherfucking tethers and shit. What is your solution to the problem? What do you ultimately think the solution to this problem of black people doing this, that, and the other and shit, fictionally speaking? What is your solution and shit? Just say it out loud and watch your bitch ass run. Okay? Watch your bitch ass run and your butt hurt because my real voice sounds like one of you and shit. Then you're just shocked I said that. You're looking at me like I'm some kind of an abomination and shit and realize you were a whole clown and an asshole and shit because you couldn't read the room. You can see the forest for the trees and shit, and I got nothing to say but fuck you.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is a reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.